Betrayal hits hardest when it comes from the people you trust the most. They were right. I didn't lose my wife in Miami. I lost her long before that, I just didn't see it. But Miami. Miami is where the truth finally stopped hiding. My name is Michael Carter, and I used to believe that loyalty was built on history, that time itself protected you from betrayal. I was wrong. History doesn't protect you from betrayal. It prepares you for it. I learned that on a humid June afternoon on Miami Beach, surrounded by salt, sunlight, and the warm laughter of people who claimed they loved me, including the two who were destroying me behind my back. My wife, Emily, and our longtime friend, Ryan, came with me on what was supposed to be a 4-day escape from work. We'd all known each other since college. We had eaten dinners together, celebrated birthdays together. Hell, he was the best man at our wedding. If betrayal had a face, it would look like someone you already trusted. The first 2 days in Miami were perfect. The ocean was warm, the air smelled of sunscreen and cocktails, and the city felt alive in a way that made everything seem possible. We spent our mornings walking along Ocean Drive, our afternoons swimming or drinking by the hotel pool, and our nights exploring restaurants where the lights were dim and the laughter too loud. Looking back, the signs were already there, I just didn't want to see them. The small looks between them. The subtle comments. They shared inside jokes that didn't belong to me. When you love someone, you excuse anything. On the third day, the day everything burned, we planned to spend the full afternoon on the beach. Emily wore a white bikini she'd bought just for the trip. She asked me what I thought of it. I told her she looked beautiful because she did. She always did. But the way Ryan looked at her? That was different. That was hunger. We set up our towels. The sun was strong but the breeze was perfect. I told them I was going to grab everyone's drinks from the beachfront bar. It was a short walk, maybe 5 minutes each way. I waited in line behind tourists and college kids ordering Miami Vices and mojitos. When I returned, I saw something that didn't make sense at first. Emily wasn't where I left her. Neither was Ryan. I looked around, and there they were. About 40 feet down the beach. Closer. Together. She was sitting on his towel, not ours. He was standing behind her. And he was rubbing sunscreen onto her back, slowly, like he was savoring every inch. My wife, the woman I built a home and future with, sitting between another man's legs on a crowded beach, letting him touch her like she belonged to him. I froze. Every instinct in my body told me I was misunderstanding what I was seeing. Because the alternative, that they were openly disrespecting me, felt too stupid, too cruel, too deliberate. They saw me coming. Emily smiled weakly, like she'd been caught doing something ordinary, not something devastating. Ryan didn't move his hand. I set her drink next to her towel. She barely looked up. "Thanks," she said, soft, dismissive, almost annoyed that I interrupted. My chest felt tight but I said nothing. A confrontation in public would only make me look insecure. Or worse, weak. I walked back to my towel, sat down and tried to breathe. But then the minutes turned into an hour. Then 2. Then 3. They went into the water together. They splashed each other like they were teenagers flirting. They sat close. They whispered. They forgot I existed. Even strangers on the beach could tell something was wrong. A couple sitting nearby glanced at me with sympathy. They knew exactly what they were witnessing. When I finally walked over, I didn't yell. I wasn't angry. Not yet. Shock has a way of making you calm. I said quietly, "Are you planning to come back to where we're sitting? We're supposed to be here together." She turned her head, looked at me, and said something that would trigger everything that followed. The Miami storm, the ending she never saw coming. "Michael, don't be dramatic. If you're going to be jealous about everything, maybe you shouldn't be here." Ryan tried to hide his smirk behind the back of his hand. Something inside me cracked, not with rage but with clarity. The woman I married? She wasn't speaking. This was a stranger. I nodded once. Quiet. Controlled. The kind of nod a man makes when he realizes he has been living in a lie. "I'll keep that in mind," I said. And then, I turned around and walked away. Straight off the beach. Across the boardwalk. Into our hotel. Into our room. I packed my clothes slowly, methodically. Every fold was a goodbye. Every zipper was a decision. When I rolled my suitcase out of the hotel room, I didn't look back. I didn't text her. I didn't call Ryan. I didn't apologize. I just left. I took an Uber straight to Miami International Airport, booked the next flight home to Atlanta, and boarded an hour later with one promise burning in my mind. If they wanted me gone so badly, I would give them a disappearance they'd never forget. When my plane touched down in Atlanta, the sun was already setting. The sky was a burnt orange, the kind of color that looks peaceful until you're living through a storm. I got into a taxi, gave the driver my address, and sat in a silence so heavy it felt like it was weighing on my chest. No music. No thoughts I wanted to keep. Just the memory of my wife letting another man, our friend, touch her like she belonged to him. By the time I got home, my phone had exploded with notifications. 8 missed calls from Emily. 6 from Ryan. Dozens of texts. At first, the messages were confused. Babe? Where are you? Did you just go to the hotel? Are you mad? Can you stop being dramatic and tell me where you are? Then defensive. You're seriously overreacting. You made a scene by leaving. I can't believe you'd embarrass me like this. Then desperate. Michael, please answer. I came back to the room and your suitcase is gone. Where did you go? Please don't scare me like this. Are you okay? Please just text me. I read them with the same numbness you feel after getting punched. The pain is still there, but your body goes into survival mode. I didn't reply. Not because I wanted to hurt her. Not because I wanted revenge. But because I realized something in that moment. A person who can humiliate you publicly never cared privately. I put my phone on silent, tossed it on the kitchen counter, and went to take a shower, the first moment of warmth I'd felt all day. When I got out, more messages were waiting. Michael, please just tell me you're safe. I'm so sorry if I upset you. It was just sunscreen, baby. Please don't let this ruin our trip. She still didn't get it. It was never about sunscreen. It was about the way she looked at him, the way she dismissed me, the way she seemed comfortable replacing me in real time. But the message that made everything finally snap came from Ryan. Bro, I think you're taking this too seriously. She was just having fun. Don't ruin the vibe. Bro, fun. Ruin the vibe. My wife's dignity, my dignity, had become fun. And my reaction to betrayal? An inconvenience to the vibe. I stared at the message for a long time before locking my phone and placing it face down. That night, I slept alone for the first time in years. It didn't feel lonely. It felt clean. The next morning, I woke up to over 30 missed calls and a long series of frantic texts from Emily. Michael, please answer. I don't know what to do. Are you really gone? I tried calling the airline and they said you boarded a flight. You left me? Michael, what is going on? I poured a cup of coffee and sat by the living room window as the sun rose behind the trees. Atlanta was calm, a sharp contrast to whatever hell she was living in. Around 9 a.m., I finally replied with a single message. You told me not to be here. So I left. She called instantly. I didn't answer. She called again. And again. And again. On the 5th attempt, I picked up. Not because I wanted to reconcile, but because I wanted closure. When her voice came through, it was cracked and trembling. Michael? Oh my God, thank God. I thought something happened to you. I'm fine, I said coldly. Why did you leave me like that? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you say anything? Why would I? My voice was steady, almost calm. According to you, I wasn't needed. There was silence. Then a soft sob. I didn't mean it like that. You meant it enough to say it. She sniffled. Can you please come back? Please? We can talk when you get here. No, I said. No. I'm not coming back. Confusion. Fear. Panic. Michael, are you leaving me? Emily, I said, you left me first. On that beach. Don't say that. It was nothing. You're blowing it out of proportion. I leaned back against the couch, staring at the ceiling. Let me ask you something, I said. If you saw me rubbing sunscreen on another woman's back for 3 hours, would you call that nothing? Silence. The kind that told me everything. Finally, she whispered, I don't know what you want me to say. Then I'll make it easy for you, I said. I want space. I want time. And I want you and Ryan to keep your distance. She gasped like I slapped her. Ryan, are you serious? You think something is going on between us? Yes, I said simply, because I saw it. She started crying harder. Michael, please don't do this. Please don't leave me in Miami alone. You're not alone, I said with an edge. You're with him. Her breath hitched. The guilt in her silence was louder than any denial. Goodbye, Emily. She screamed something, maybe my name, but I hung up before it finished. She returned to Atlanta the next afternoon. She didn't go home. She came straight to my brother's house, where I stayed the night to avoid her showing up at ours. He called me. She's here, he whispered. She's crying. Art says she needs to see you. I'm not ready, I said. I told her that. She's sitting on the porch. Let her sit. Michael, she looks bad. I paused. Bad like guilty, I said, or bad like emotional manipulation? He sighed. You know the difference better than I do. I did. Too well. He stayed outside with her for a bit. They talked. Or rather, she cried while he listened. After an hour, she finally left. But that wasn't the end. Not even close. That evening, as I was organizing paperwork in my home office, my phone buzzed again. Ryan. I didn't answer. He sent a text. Bro, can we talk? Emily is freaking out. We need to figure this out. I ignored it. He sent more. Come on, man. I didn't do anything. You know I'd never cross that line. Please call me. The audacity. He wanted me to reassure him. I put my phone away, but then it buzzed again. A voice note this time. Against my better judgment, I listened. His voice was shaky. Fake shaky. Mike, man, look, I don't know why you're mad. I wasn't doing anything. She asked for sunscreen, so I helped. That's it. Come on, brother, don't make this weird. Brother. The same word he used when he toasted at our wedding. I deleted the message. Ryan wasn't panicking because I left. He was panicking because he was exposed. Because the one person who always gave him the benefit of the doubt had finally stopped looking away. For the next 3 days, everything was quiet. Emily kept sending messages. I didn't reply. Ryan called twice. I didn't answer. Then on the 4th day something changed. A message from Emily. I need to see you. It's serious. I ignored it. Then a second. Michael, something happened. Please pick up. Please. It's about Ryan. That got my attention. Against my better judgment, I called her. She answered instantly, voice trembling, terrified. Michael, you need to sit down. Why? It's Ryan, she whispered. He admitted something. My stomach tightened. What did he admit? She swallowed hard through the phone. That sunscreen wasn't the first time, she said. Her voice shattered. I'm so sorry, Michael. I'm so sorry. When Emily said the words, it wasn't the first time, it felt like someone squeezed the air out of my lungs. Not because I didn't expect it, but because hearing it out loud meant the story I had been telling myself, the one where I exaggerated, misunderstood, misinterpreted, was finally dead. I sat down on the edge of the bed and forced myself to keep my voice steady. Tell me exactly what he said. I heard her inhale shakily. We were talking earlier today. I went to his apartment because he wasn't answering my calls either. I needed someone to talk to. You went to Ryan's apartment? I repeated slowly. Yes, she whispered, but listen, please. I confronted him. I told him how destroyed you were, how much damage this has caused, and I begged him to help fix it. And? He broke down, she said. Like, completely. I've never seen him like that. He started rambling, crying, telling me he was drunk that day on the beach and that he crossed a line he shouldn't have. Emily, I said, stop protecting him and tell me the part you're avoiding. She quieted down. Then, he said he developed feelings for me months ago. I closed my eyes. There it was. The truth is they had both been dancing around. Months? I repeated. As in, before Miami? Yes, she whispered. And you're telling me the beach was the first time he acted on it? Silence. Emily, I said, my voice low and razor sharp, tell me the truth. I don't know, she cried. I don't know anymore, okay? He said nothing physical happened before Miami but. I pressed. But I don't believe him anymore. I let that sit between us. A truth that was heavy didn't need anything added. I could hear her crying on the phone. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just broken. Michael, I swear. I never cheated on you physically. I swear to God. But I did. I did start relying on him emotionally. It was stupid. I don't know why I didn't see the danger. I didn't think. You didn't think? I finished for her. That's exactly the problem. She kept crying. I let her. Because every tear she shed now was one I shed silently 2 days ago in a hotel room in Miami. And no, I didn't enjoy seeing her suffer. But I wasn't responsible for cleaning up the mess she created. I'm coming over, she whispered finally. We need to talk in person. No, I said. Michael, please? You made me invisible on that beach, I said quietly. And now I'm giving you what you gave me. Her breath hitched. Are you ending this? I didn't answer. Because the answer wasn't ready yet. Not until I confronted the other half of the betrayal. That evening, after I hung up on Emily, I drove to an unfamiliar part of the city, a cluster of mid-rise apartments where Ryan had been living since his breakup last year. I parked outside his building and sat there for a minute. The betrayal of a spouse hurts. But the betrayal of a friend? That cuts deeper. Friends don't have to love you. They choose to. And he chose to destroy me. I texted him one line. Outside. Come down. No anger. No threats. Just a simple invitation. He replied instantly. Give me 5. When he finally walked out, he looked like he hadn't slept. Dark circles, messy hair, guilt hanging off him like a jacket he couldn't take off. He approached slowly. Mike, man, thank God you're here. Listen. Don't talk, I said. He froze. I got out of the car and stepped closer. You lied to me, I said softly. For how long? He swallowed hard. Nothing physical happened, he said. I swear to God. I swear on my life. I didn't touch her like that before the beach. Emotional? I asked. His face flinched with guilt. Ryan, I said calmly, look me in the eye and tell me you didn't want her. He didn't. He couldn't. His eyes dropped to the pavement. I'm sorry, he whispered. That was my confirmation. And the beach? I asked. That was a mistake, he said quickly. I was drunk. The sun. The drinks. Everyone was relaxing. She asked for sunscreen. Stop, I said sharply. This isn't about sunscreen. He shut his mouth. It's about you taking what wasn't yours. It's about you looking at my marriage like it was a door you could walk through. I didn't mean for it to happen, he whispered desperately. You meant it, I corrected. You just didn't think I'd notice. He closed his eyes like the truth physically hurt. I didn't want to ruin our friendship, he said. I didn't want you to think I'd ever betray you. You didn't want me to think about it? I stepped closer, staring him dead in the eyes. You did betray me. His lips trembled. Mike, please don't end our friendship over this. I laughed. A cold, dead laugh I didn't recognize coming from my own mouth. Ryan, you ended it the moment you let your hands touch my wife. He flinched. I never slept with her, he repeated, desperate for a lifeline. You don't have to sleep with someone to betray someone, I said quietly. He started crying. Actual tears. Maybe his conscience was still alive. When he finally caught his breath, he asked the question I knew was coming. Are you going to tell people? About what happened? There it was. The real fear. Not guilt. No remorse. Exposure. Oh, I said softly, now you're worried about appearances. I just don't want people thinking the wrong thing. I stared at him. You're worried about your reputation, I said. Not mine. Not hers. Yours. He didn't deny it. Cowards never do. I won't say anything, I said finally. He looked relieved. Too relieved. What I will do, I continued, is remove both of you from my life. Permanently. Cleanly. Completely. His face fell again. Mike, please don't do this. We've been friends for years. Exactly, I said. And that's why this betrayal is permanent. He swallowed. Can I fix this? No, I said simply. You can't fix the fact that you wanted something that was mine. His eyes filled again. And then, I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry. I know, I said. And I hope someday that feeling eats you alive. He choked on a breath. I turned and walked back to my car. He didn't follow. He just stood there in the parking lot, defeated, realizing the gravity of what he destroyed. When I got home, I sat in the driveway for nearly an hour. The truth was on the table now, ugly, exposed, undeniable. Emily had emotionally drifted into another man's arms. Ryan had emotionally trespassed into my marriage. And me? I had reached the point of no return. Because betrayal doesn't break you. It wakes you. And I was finally awake. The night after confronting Ryan, I barely slept. Not because I missed Emily. Not because I regretted what I said. Not because I wanted things to go back to normal. I didn't sleep because the truth had finally settled in. Some betrayals don't deserve forgiveness. They deserve consequences. By morning, I knew exactly what I was going to do. Not revenge. Not rage. Not screaming. My justice would be colder than Miami ocean water at sunrise. Because betrayal doesn't need to be punished with violence or shouting. It needs to be punished with clarity. The clarity of walking away without hesitation. The clarity of showing someone you'll never be treated like an option. The clarity of choosing yourself. So I made the one decision they both thought I'd never make. I walked away permanently. Emily showed up at our house that afternoon. I knew she would. I could almost feel her panic through the walls. She knocked. Then knocked louder. then said my name through the door, her voice shaking. Michael, please? Please open the door, we need to talk. I took a deep breath and opened it. Her face was a mess, eyes swollen, makeup smudged, hair tied back in desperation. She looked like she hadn't slept. Like she'd been crying for hours. She stepped inside before I could even say anything. Michael, please, don't do this. Please don't walk away. Please don't leave me. Her voice cracked on the word leave. She reached toward me, I stepped back. Sit down, I said. She obeyed instantly. Not because I intimidated her, but because guilt had finally crushed whatever pride she used to have. I sat down across from her. Emily, I said quietly, I need to ask you one question. And I want the truth. No excuses. No crying. Just the truth. She nodded. Did you feel something for him? Her lip trembled. Yes, she whispered. A clean cut. Brutal but honest. How long? I don't know, she stammered. I didn't realize it at the time. I thought it was just comfort. I didn't see it until Miami. But he saw it. She swallowed. That was the answer. And she knew it. But nothing physical happened, she repeated quickly. Michael, I swear. It doesn't matter, I said. Her eyes widened. No. Because emotional betrayal comes before physical betrayal. You weren't loyal before you were unfaithful. She covered her mouth, sobbing. Michael, I love you. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. I didn't know it would spiral like this. I can fix it, I swear. I can go to therapy. We can go to therapy. I will cut Ryan off forever. Oh. Stop. She froze. Emily, I said, you didn't just betray our marriage. She looked up, confused. You betrayed my trust. The thing I guarded most. The thing you promised to protect. I know, she cried. I know I did. I ruined everything and I hate myself for it. I studied her face. For the first time I saw regret. Real regret. Don't panic. Not fear of losing comfort. Actual regret. But regret isn't enough. Regret is what people feel when they lose what they didn't appreciate. I don't hate you, I said quietly. But I can't stay with you. Her breath hitched. What are you saying? I'm ending this. No, she shook her head like a child refusing bedtime. No, Michael, no, please don't say that, don't. Emily, I said firmly, we're done. And then she broke. Completely. She fell into the couch, face in her hands, sobbing in a way that was almost painful to watch. But my empathy didn't mean reconciliation. Sometimes heartbreak is the only language betrayal understands. After several minutes of uncontrollable crying, she forced herself to look at me. Her eyes were red, her breath shaky, her voice barely holding together. Was I really so easy to replace? She whispered. I shook my head. You weren't replaced, Emily. You were revealed. She blinked rapidly, tears falling again. What does that mean? It means you showed me who you really were. And I finally believed you. Her face collapsed again. And then she said words I'll never forget. Michael. I will regret that day in Miami for the rest of my life. I destroyed the only man who ever truly loved me. I didn't respond. Because she was right. You're leaving me, she whispered. You're really leaving. Yes. And there's nothing I can do? No. Her shoulders slumped. She nodded slowly, the acceptance crawling across her face like a shadow. Can I hug you? She asked through tears. No, I said gently. We say goodbye from here. She cried harder, but she didn't argue. That was the moment she finally understood. I wasn't punishing her. I was protecting myself. The next day Ryan tried to reach out. Calls. Texts. A pathetic apology paragraph that started with, "Hey man." I blocked him everywhere. A betrayal from a friend is like poison. You don't negotiate with poison. You remove it. Cleanly. Permanently. The following week was strangely peaceful. The kind of peace you feel after a hurricane passes. The destruction is still there, but the air is breathable again. I filed for divorce. Emily signed without a fight. She didn't show up at the courthouse. She didn't ask for anything. She didn't beg again. Because deep down she knew she didn't lose me in Miami. She lost me the moment she chose him over me. 6 months later. My life became simple. Calm. Steady. I went on runs. I spent time with my family. I worked on myself. I rediscovered hobbies I had abandoned. I rebuilt it. Slowly. Deliberately. Proudly. And one unexpected day, I met someone new. Someone who looked at me with admiration, not convenience. Respect, not entitlement. Love, not dependency. And the best part? I wasn't afraid to love again. Because the betrayal didn't break me. It forged me. 8 months after the divorce, I received a message from an unknown number. Just one sentence. I still dream about the beach. Emily. I stared at it for a moment. Then I deleted it. Because the beach wasn't my nightmare anymore. It was my turning point. My reminder that I survived the moment meant to destroy me. Some betrayals bury you. Others build you. Mine did both. Miami took the version of me that tolerated disrespect and killed him. But it also gave birth to someone stronger, someone who now knows exactly what loyalty should feel like and what love should never look like. I didn't leave the beach that day because I was broken. I left because I finally understood. A man who knows his worth never begs to be chosen. And now, I choose myself. Every single day. If you felt this story, if it is connected with something inside you, if you've ever survived betrayal and come out stronger, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts below, share this story with someone who needs it. Your support helps this channel grow, and I'm on a mission to reach 5,000 subscribers with your help. Together we turn pain into power. This is Betrayal Nation, where true stories are told with honesty, intensity, and the justice they deserve. Visit our channel daily for more powerful, emotional, real-life stories that hit deep. Until next time, stay strong, stay aware, stay unbroken.